Friends, this is why we're exhausted. And what's fascinating to me is I coach women who have 6 and 7 and 8-figure businesses, and they're exhausted. Some of them had the most amazing revenue years in 2023, but they're exhausted because they're constantly scrambling to make things happen. Why do we feel like we have to be constantly on? Well, I'm here to tell you, it's because we're white knuckling this journey. And what I've discovered in my own journey that led me to coaching and the podcast and the book, etc., which you can listen to my testimony in episode 234, is that we have to control it all. Now, listen, I'm a high achiever. I love to be in control. I'm a planner. I like everything to be in its place. I like to know all the details down to the nth degree. I want to leave nothing to chance. I'm not a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. Maybe you are, and that's awesome. But we want to control it all. And because we want to control it all, we feel like we have to constantly hold on to it or constantly be planning it or constantly be online. God does not ask for constantly. He asks for consistency. What does that mean for us as sisters in Christ? The Lord wants us to be consistent in seeking him. He wants to be consistent in worshiping him. He wants us to be consistent in our obedience. He wants us to be consistent in bringing our day to him and laying it at the foot of the cross to say, Lord, yes, I've made a few plans on paper, but this is your business. And I was in corporate. I had to be available all the time. So I traveled 70% of the time, but I also spent many, many nights and weekends having to be available to do work. And it was perfect, right? Because I was salaried, so they didn't have to pay me any extra for the time. But I was constantly working. Even in my first business, my multi-level marketing or network marketing business, I was constantly available. I talked about this recently on an episode, how we would earn these incredible trips, and then I'd see these leaders sitting by the pool working constantly. Don't do anything else, just work constantly. And I believe that we've been sold a bill of goods by the world, because that is the world's definition of hustle, is it not? Keep going, work harder, make things happen. That's why we talk about redefining hustle on this show, because we want to work intentionally and purposefully. Yes, we want to work with a sense of timing. And of course, we want to seek God in all that we do. But it's about consistency, not constantly. Friend, I want to give you a few pointers for working consistently in your business. And I have a tool that you can download that will help you do this. It's not rocket science. It's a really simple tool we call the Daily Action Sheet. And here's what it consists of. Number one is you got to start and end your day, bookend your day in conversation with the Lord. The Lord doesn't want constantly. He wants consistently. Can you talk to him constantly throughout the day? And do I highly recommend that you do? Absolutely. But can you be consistent even in 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes before nighttime? Those two bookends are what make up your day, and it's laying your business and your plans at the foot of the cross to allow his way with them. Number two is you've got to allow yourself space and time to rest during the day and throughout your week, your month, your quarter, your year. We've got to learn to work from a place of rest, and that means a restful mind and a restful heart that allows us to be focused. And we can do that consistently. Number three is do not overload your to-do list. Here's the thing. I have a sticky note on my monitor here that says, am I being productive or just active? And then I have another one in my paper planner that says, if this is the only thing that I accomplish today, will I be satisfied? You don't have to overload your list. Your list and the number of things on it do not define you. And it certainly doesn't point to your productivity. It points to the badge of busyness. We need to get busy being with the Lord versus constantly moving to do the work. Those are just a few pieces from the Dash tool. So I really encourage you to go down in the show notes or go to this link, erinharrigan.com/dash tool. That'll be down in the show notes.